SlapViper.
Hello, good morning. My name is Quincy. Today is the first video in my two-part series to name my top 20 matches for 2024. Today we look at the men's side of the bracket. Before we get started with this, a quick disclaimer, there will be some women on this list, but it is based off of a few factors. Whatever gender wins the match, whether it be man, woman, non-binary, whatever your gender identity is, it will count towards that gender. And in the case of a tie, it will go on both lists at the same spot. My list, my rules, let's begin. Number 20, Astronauts versus Violence Forever, February 9th. Two of the best teams in the world today made quite the impression in this match. Of course, this was for the GCW Tag Team Championships, and the Astronauts and Violence Forever did what they do the best and be two of the best teams in the world. The grappling from both teams was sound, and those brutal, intense strikes were stuff of beauty, stuff that made you wince. The match was chaotic as they fought in and out of the ring, within the ringside area as well, with an always hot GCW crowd. Greeny, Ku, Nomura, Abe were giving it their all and deserve a place on this list. Number 19, Bryan Danielson versus Hechicero, February 3rd. Hopefully I said his name right. You know who I mean. You'll see him on the screen. Spoiler alert, Bryan Danielson is tied with Kevin Ku for the most amount of appearances on this list. And another spoiler, that number is quite high. This match was my first real taste of Hechicero, and my god, I was impressed by the mad scientist, and I understand why so many people love him. So many CMLL fans love him. Bryan and Hechicero worked so beautifully together, and in a year where Bryan was really showing himself that he was that great, where some people may have forgotten, this ranks among one of the best matches for him this year, and just all around the year in general. The style on how both men were able to keep the crowd engaged, especially when you have someone like Hechicero, who many people may not be fully familiar with the game of Hechicero, and now you just see him trying to out-grappling one of the greatest wrestlers ever. Absolute banger. Number 18, Dominic Garrini versus Kevin Ku, November 24th. This match was not even 4 minutes long, and it was everything you could ever want in a sub 5-minute match. Ku and Garrini are great as a tag team. As opponents in the ring, they just flow so well together. It's so beast. Both men laid in some nasty strikes in this Bloodsport match, and in those some 5 minutes, they made every second count, had me on the edge of my seat, had the GCW fans on the edge of their seat as well, and they told a great story of brutality, brotherhood, and iron sharpening iron. Number 17, Yota Tsuji versus Hiroki Goto, March 20th. At least my Hiroki Goto stocks are looking better than anyone who invested in Hakuto Girl's scam coin. Goto made it to the final of his 7th New Japan Cup and was against one of the brightest stars in New Japan today in Gene Blast himself. Yota had a chance to etch himself in the history books with Tanahashi, Hiroki Goto himself, Naito, Zack Sabre Jr., Okada, Shinsuke Nakamura, and many other big names who also won the New Japan Cup. On the other hand, Hiroki Goto this was another chance of redemption. For years, he could never win the IWGP heavyweight belt, and he could get another crack at it right here in this contest if he were to just beat Yota Tsuji. And it was Goto's redemption against Yota Tsuji's history-making performance. Number 16, Bryan Danielson versus Blue Panther, April 5th. The yes chants in Arena Mexico is something that gets me emotional every single time I see it. Blue Panther is a hero of Bryan Danielson and was a genuine dream match for the American Dragon. Blue Panther has been wrestling since the late 70s and is 64 years old, yet moves like a man half his age with such grace and a surprising amount of mobility and flexibility. Both men exchange holds and submissions in this submission match. just grappling each other beautifully. Bryan played the heel role so incredibly well in this match, and in an arena of some of the most dedicated and hardcore fans in the world. Bryan was having the best moment of his life in this match, and this match earned its place on this list. Number 15, Chihiro Hashimoto versus Shinya Aoki, April 7th. This is what I mentioned earlier about some women will be featured here, and I honestly wish I could put this higher, but the only bad thing was the time limit draw. Everything else was pure perfection. Aoki and Hash were using their respective sports backgrounds to try and out-grapple the other, and for 10 minutes, they went at each other, and the facial expressions between the two, like they were just so angry and frustrated, but also really just thinking on how they could finish off the other. The final 5 minutes were pure magic, as it was a race against the clock and was full of action on the edge of your seat the entire time. Please watch this match. Number 14, Pac versus Will Ospreay, September 7th. Pac is one of the best wrestlers in the world today in any company. Will Ospreay has been one of the biggest names for AEW, someone you can rely on for those big, breathtaking moments in a sensational moveset, and he found just the man, or bastard in this case, to complement him perfectly. Pac, when he is in that full-on sadistic little gremlin mode, is one of the most unintentionally funny yet greatest wrestlers to perform. Pac is a perfect foil for Ospreay's exciting moveset to try and overcome, and in the end, in my opinion, this is the best Will Ospreay AEW match in 2024. Number 13, Hiroki Goto versus Konosuke Takeshita, August 4th. Takeshita is a demon, a literal fucking demon when it comes to that ring. He's so quick. He's so powerful. He's as smooth as butter, and his strength, God, his strength, he's so good. He's an outsider coming into the G1. He's against the man who, through all the hardships, through all the failures, through all the setbacks in his career, he never gave up. He always stayed at an insane level. Hiroki Goto. A man nearing his 50s, but has a level of passion and will and determination and grit like no one else in New Japan now currently possesses, in my opinion. Both men sold the match incredibly well with the exhaustion, the near falls, everything with a clean and earned slow burn to the finish and the closing stretch. If anyone tells you that Hiroki Goto at this stage in his career can be a world champion, show them this match. Show them this match. He has an understanding for psychology and working the crowd probably better than anyone else in current New Japan, in my opinion. Number 12, Daniel Maccabee versus Kevin Ku, July 12th. Daniel Maccabee might be retired unless he gets that match with Bryan Danielson, but he got to go out on his own terms against someone he respects tremendously. Kevin Ku had the honor of being the final opponent for Maccabee in an intense bout that saw blood, hard hits, great tentacle prowess, and two men who made their way through the independent circuit to become great wrestlers, become such great wrestlers that they are. In the emotional bout, both men came out changed. One with his career over, the other with the honor of retiring a legend who will forge his own legacy. Number 11, Filthy Tom Lawler versus Matt Makowski, June 7th. Tom Lawler, the ace of Black Label Pro, looks to get his Midwest Championship back against Matt Makowski, who won the title back in December, knocking off one of BLP's greatest wrestlers in Calvin Tankman. Tom and Matt go together like sour cream and Oreos as the two men face off in this heavily contested battle, nasty strikes, brutal submissions, and both men pushing each other to such a mesmerizing match to watch, with one of my favorite finishing stretches in 2024. Go out of your way to watch this sensational match. Oh yeah, and also Tom Lawler got to see my Koguma sign, so that was really cool. Number 10, Violence is Forever versus FTR, October 13th. FTR were scheduled to face the Workhorsemen, but injury fell upon Anthony Henry as he injured his bicep, leading to FTR being without a team to face for the upcoming DPW Super Battle show. Enter in violence is forever. And dream match for many people, including myself. The DPW crowd was eating out of the palm of both teams' hands, with each team pulling off some insane tag team wrestling and keeping a beautiful pace. And it was pure grit and pure determination by both teams as they wrestled for 20 uninterrupted minutes. And before we could get a proper winner, we get a time limit draw. The only reason this is barely in my top 10, because everything else about this match was what tag wrestling is all about. And I guarantee they're going to run this back in 2025. I just know it. And I pray to the DPW gods, Deadlock Boys, whoever you are, please give us that match and give us the finish. Give us a proper finish. Number 9, Harashima versus Shinya Aoki, October 20th. In a promotion of dick jokes, magical powers, and pure comedy, you would never really expect someone more grounded and focused and more professional in a way like Aoki succeed, but he's been a sleeper pick for Wrestler of the Year, and this match really shows why. Harashima is that damn good and has been that damn good for the last 2 decades. There's a reason why he's called Mr. DDT. Aoki really showed something that made me fall in love with him in this match. His attention to detail against Harashima, where he knows how to out-grapple 99% of people he fights. He knows how to get them down. He knows how to get out of most of the holds they try to put him in. He knows how to break you down and to get that win. Harashima's intensity to try and win back the KOD Openweight title for an 11th time complemented the more dominating nature of Aoki here. Number 8, Bryan Danielson versus Katsuyori Shibata, March 16th. A genuine dream match for me. 2 men who were told would never wrestle again, 2 men whose careers were over, who gave their life to this sport, were finally able to meet. I had tears in my eyes watching this for the first few times, as you guys know how much Shibata means to me. Shibata! Oh, shit! How much Bryan Danielson means to me, as it was a very emotional match for a lot of people. It was nearly 20 minutes of 2 of my all-time favorites being the piss out of each other, as I couldn't be happier. Both pulled out their best hits. As you could tell, both men were proud of the work that they put on. Number 7, Bang & Matthews versus Latinos Most Wanted, June 7th. I screamed so loud for this match. Bang & Matthews are so fun to watch, just their moves and like the way they just move around. It's so just entertaining to watch. You always have a smile on your face. Sabin and Kota really made you believe Bang & Matthews were walking away as champions, as their selling was just so spot on. And the moment of Kota sacrificing himself so Sabin wouldn't get hit still gets me as a very emotional moment, really showing the brotherhood between Kota and Sabin. The crowd loved every minute of this match. I can tell by firsthand experience. I was there. Hendrix can tell as well if he goes in the comments. The insane moves Sabin took and did in this match just made this one of my favorite tag matches of the year. And I just, like I said, I screamed so loud for it. You guys saw the clip. You know the clip. 1, 2, 3, yes! 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 Number 6, Konosuke Takeshita versus Uni, November 10th. Some of the loudest crowd reactions I've ever heard live. Takeshita is a superhuman, and Uni has the crowd eating out of the palm of his hand. Takeshita brutalizes the young wrestler, and the host spot Uni gets has Washington Hall nearly about to just come undone. I thought the building was shaking, about to shatter at so many points because of it. For Uni to pull off this upset against a mentor of his, Uni, even at only 16 years old, gets it, and this just adds to the story of Takeshita and Uni. Uni one day will beat Takeshita and will transcend the world of the wrestling gods. Number 5, Sami Zayn versus Gunther, April 6th. Sami Zayn will go down as one of the most beloved and genuine wrestlers of all time. His fire and his attention to detail with his selling and his moments of hope make him one of the best ever. Gunther was over 600 days as Intercontinental Champion, and Sami Zayn was next to step up to the ring general. I could watch Gunther beat the shit out of Sami Zayn for hours, as it was just so entertaining for the entire the entire match. Both are so safe yet so brutal with how they hit and slam each other. Nice and snug both of these men are, and this match shows the best qualities for both men with an absolutely beautiful finish. A really great finish, I might add. Number 4, Njpw versus Miyu Yamashita, June 7th. A dream match for me. Two of my favorites in this day and age getting to battle, and it was everything I ever wanted in a wrestling match. Njpw's grappling mixed with Yamashita strikes were something very fun to witness in real time. Yamashita had Ku wobbling and staggering as Ku tried to fight back, using his technique and quick wits to his advantage, which led to one of the most clever finishes I have ever witnessed in a professional wrestling match.
Oh no! Oh yeah! Oh wait! Wait! Oh no! Yeah! 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 1, 2, 3! Yeah!
Please, for the love of God, watch this match. Please, it's genuinely like, it might be the best match I have ever seen live in person. I've seen some incredible matches live and in person. This has to take the cake for probably the best match I've ever seen in person. Number 3, Mark Briscoe versus Eddie Kingston, April 5th. 11 years to the day the late Jay Briscoe won his first ever ROH world title. His brother has the opportunity to join his brother amongst the legendary names who also held that world championship. Two brawlers who have a tremendous amount of love and respect for each other. Both wanted to hold the ROH world championship and would stop at nothing to be champion. Mark Briscoe coming out to Give Me Back My Bullets with one of the coolest yet most heart-wrenching moments in 2024. Genuinely had me crying because it was so emotional. If you don't know, Give Me Back My Bullets was the theme that the Briscoes used. Mark Briscoe was bleeding buckets, and through determination, grit, and a love for his fallen brother, Mark Briscoe defied the odds and won the ROH world title. Genuinely such a beautiful match, and absolutely just, if you have not watched that match and you're a fan of either wrestler, please, for the love of God, go watch it. Heck, even if you already watched it, go watch it again. Finish the video first and then go watch it, please. Number 2, Bryan Danielson versus Swerve Strickland, August 25th. Career versus title. The final countdown. Thousands of fans packing Wembley Stadium. The heart-wrenching moments of Bryan looking at his family for support. Him bleeding in the early minutes. Swerve tanking the running knee from Bryan, and both men playing to the match so beautifully. They made you believe it could have gone either way. You could have believed that Bryan was going to do it. You could have believed that Swerve was going to end the career of one of the greatest wrestlers to ever exist. I cried after this match. I cried during this match. It was genuinely just so beautiful. It was what makes wrestling so good. When I talk about emotion in pro wrestling, this is what I mean. This is what I mean. When a match can genuinely move you to tears, that's how you know a match is good. And number 1, Eddie Kingston versus Bryan Danielson, March 3rd. One of the best AEW matches ever, possibly the best AEW match ever, and I will die on this hill. The struggle by Eddie Kingston, the viciousness by Bryan Danielson. Bryan not letting his ego get the better of him, and Eddie trying to get Bryan's respect. Eddie went soul searching last and this year, and he came out a better man. He came out more focused and determined than ever before, and his heart and his passion was against Bryan's brutality and disrespect, making it my pick for the greatest men's pro wrestling match in 2024. And like I said before, just to tally a few things up, Bryan and Njpw are tied with 5 matches each. On this list, Eddie Kingston is tying with Takeshita, Aoki, Goto, and I forgot he tied with someone else as well. But yeah, there is a tie for 3rd place or for third place, as in second place was Dominic Garrini with 3 matches. All these matches were so beautiful. And of course, this is my list. This is my list. You guys may have an entirely different list. None of these people may not even be on your list. And you know, that's perfectly fine as well. I just want to share my experience with wrestling this year, as this was such a good year for professional wrestling. And I cannot wait to show you guys my list for the women, as that list is going to I think a lot of people are going to, they're going to question some stuff, but I'll explain it, hopefully, like how I explain all the matches here. So hopefully you can understand, because that's all that wrestling's about. It's all about your perspective, how you perceive things. And as long as you explain and aren't an asshole about it, there's nothing wrong with liking what you like.
Thank you all so much for watching. Buy W and use code SlapViperLLC at checkout for 10% off your W order. Donate to my coffee below if you want. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. This is Quincy of SlapViperLLC, and I will talk to you all later. Take care.